Hello guys, it's your boy a.dTHEweeb back with another video. Now in today's video we're gonna be going for Naruto was the leader of the 10 Commandments, part 3. Now get this huge 35 like for the next part, and go in the comment section down below where you're gonna see a link to my Discord server, so you can go ahead and check that out if you want. And yeah, anyways, without further ado, let's just get the video started.
Yeah! I will not let you destroy my world!
So I just want to clear this thing out. Naruto has awakened basically Mario's memories and everything, so he's kind of considered himself as Mario's again, but people know him as Naruto. Like the Naruto people know him as Naruto, but like he calls himself Mario's now. It looks exactly like Mario's, literally just like this, just like in this picture right here. It looks exactly like this. So yeah, just thought we'd clear this out for any confusion, and I will be calling him Naruto unless I need to call him Mario's. So yeah, anyways, or unless you guys want me to call him Mario's, but yeah. But for you, let's get started. So we start this wave off with Pain's body, basically Yakato's body, Yahiko's body. I mean, basically rising up from the container that it was in, along with 5 other people. As then they all quickly went over to Nagato and Konan, but something was strange. They were all moving so in sync with each other. It's as if they were the same person. But then they all opened their eyes, revealing Renegon eyes, the eyes of the gods, or so people call it. As then one of them says, who are you, and what do you want? As then Naruto would step up and say, we are the 10 Commandments, and I am Mario's, the leader of the 10 Commandments, but you might know me as Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. As then Nagato's eyes would widen a bit as he would say, so you're the Hokage's missing child. As then Naruto says, are you the leader of the Akatsuki? As then Pain would say, yes, I am the leader of the Akatsuki. As then Naruto says, good, well, we have come here to take you guys' place. As then Nagato would say, what do you mean? As alright, just making sure I was recording. As then Nagato would say, what do you mean? As then Naruto would say, Naruto would smirk and says, simple, you're no longer needed, you useless pawn. Which then Nagato looks up saying, what do you mean by pawn and shit? As then Naruto would say, well, there's no point of you knowing, I will tell this guy instead. As we see a man with orange mask walk into the room. As then he says, how did you know about me? As then Naruto says, not to worry about it. But then he says, who are you anyway? As then the man in the orange mask would say, I am the great Madara Uchiha, with a voice saying basically I'm superior. But then Naruto didn't know why, but pretty much Naruto didn't know why he was being arrogant, with pretty much him knowing that any of them could beat him easily. But we see basically Madara saying, what's going on? And as we see him basically slowly turning to stone, as we see Garland basically laughing. As then he says, I am Garland of truth, speak any lies in my presence and you'll be turned to stone no matter who you are. As then Naruto says, well, no matter, I guess I'll explain it to you. Then putting Nagato, I mean, my bad. As then he says, you are being used as a puppet by this man, and us, the 10 commandments, have decided to kill the Akatsuki since you guys are well known for being strong and shit. We will be able to get our names out there without doing too much work. And what do you basically plan to do? The Pain would ask after what you said you was gonna do and shit. Like basically asking what he was gonna do after killing the Akatsuki, but didn't want to say exactly killing the Akatsuki because he thinks that they have a chance of still beating them. But yeah. Anyways, and Naruto would say after that we plan to continue your plan of capturing the Tail Beast and put them inside the demon statue, but as you know it, the ghetto statue. It doesn't actually revive the Ten Tails like you think. It does something, let's just say, much worse, with an evil smirk on his face. Then Naruto raises his sword to kill Nagato, but Konan tries to stab him, but she stopped midway as her eyes started to bleed and she started to scream out and lose her mind. And then she stabs Nagato, killing him, as then she kills herself. As then Naruto says, so this is my commandments. That's pretty cool. As then Naruto says, okay, let's go take out the Akatsuki. As then and the Tail Beast or those demon pets basically. As then basically all of them will disappear in a black flash. As we see Galen in Mon's speech. If you don't know who Mon's speech is, it's basically, well, Galen is the guy in the red armor, and Mon's speech is the one with a bunch of cuts on him, the cape and shit. So yeah, we see them basically yeah, we see them get team up together and hunting down the Three Tails due to them having, like, hearing about them having a civil war and whatever in the Hidden Mist and so on. Now we see Zeldris in the original Golter, which is still alive in this one, because that was like I said, these 10 commandments were back in the days that when now Marius was still in the team and shit. So yeah, he's there. Anyways, basically him and freaking Zeldris going after Hidan and Kakuzu. Skip 5 minutes later, Kakuzu was about to attack Hidan when, for basically talking to a shit, when there was a black light into the sky, and then a boom, basically blowing up the ground and everything away. They had to put charcoal in their feet to basically not fly away and whatnot. Then they saw Zeldris and Gother or whatever. As then Hidan would scream saying what the hell is going on. As then Gother says, you're Hidan and Kakuzu, member of the Akatsuki, right? As then they say, yeah, why do you care? Then he says, well, you will have to die. As then Hidan started to laugh, saying, you fix someone in a wheelchair and the little kid is gonna beat us. But he was quick to basically shut up because he couldn't really continue anymore because something happened, which is basically his arms fell right off his shoulders, and basically we see Goto smirking. As then he done screams saying, Kakuzu, help me out here and shit. Basically uses strings or whatever. As then Kakuzu says, you two seem strong, so you will have a big bounty on your head. As then Kakuzu fixes Hidan's arm. As then he shoots his arm from like his shoulder or whatever. He uses his thing to shoot his arm and whatnot, and tries to hit Goto, but a black flame comes out Goto's little chair thing and burns his arm off, but it continues to burn his strings all the way down to his real body, killing him. And yeah, because he couldn't really get out of it, it was way harder than like the Amaterasu's flames. You literally can't get out of these flames unless you have unless you part of the Ten Commandments and shit. But yeah. Yeah. He basically falls to the ground and dies. So yeah. But then Hidan was shocked, as then he says, well, that doesn't matter, it won't work on me, I'm immortal, with a crazy look on his eyes. But then he starts to scream as he fell to the ground in like 100 pieces due to Zeldris basically slicing this nigga up. And yeah. Then he lights up in black flames as he burns away, basically skip over to Naruto, Mascara Diary, and Guerrero, whatever his name is. Basically this guy, this thing. And Mascara is her. And freaking Diary is her. And yeah. Anyways. We see them will be going to the land of Wave because they heard that Itachi, Uchiha, and Kisame of the 7 Ninja Swordsmen were basically in the land of Waves, as they decided to go there after them and skip 1 hour later. Naruto and all them got there to see Kisame and Itachi standing on the water of a giant lake, and was watching basically Zabuza fighting Team 7, which is Mema, Mito, Sasuke, sadly uselessness, and team captains were Kakashi and Kushina, Uzumaki. As then they landed into the lake, as then the lake basically was shaking, blowing the water in all direction and shit because of them basically crashing into the water. Then everyone looks to see Naruto, Mascara Diary, and Grey Roads of Pacifism or something. As then they wonder who they were, as then Zabuza thought they were with the Leaf Village and tries to kill them, and basically he slashes down with his giant executioner blade, but when it hit Diary, it basically would do absolutely nothing to her, as then the blade would start cracking and break into millions of pieces, shocking all of them except for the Ten Commandment team, which is Naruto's team or whatever. And basically then Diary will look back and punches him, sending him flying, and he would land into Sakura, who was holding the kunai when, like, you know how when she was holding the kunai when quote unquote guarding Kazuna. Yeah, she was holding that kunai, and sadly for her, but not really sadly, basically Zabuza landed. When he landed, the kunai basically pierced to his head, killing him on the spot, as she was shocked. As then we see her basically turning pale and start to become old and wrinkly, and basically dying from Gregwood's commandment, which is basically if you kill someone in his presence, you will be stripped of your time, so you will just instantly become old and die. But yeah, then Sasuke would smile happily due to him actually dating Mito, but Sakura always tried to break them up. As then Naruto, not wanting to waste time, says, I'm gonna kill Sasuke, making Itachi mad and have a little hatred. As then his eyes started to bleed and his eyes go to the MS and activate his Susanoo and stabs Kisame, sealing him away. Then he basically kills himself, as then Naruto would look towards the Leaf team and walk up to Kushina, Menma, Mito in particular, and says, "Do you know who I am?" As they would shake their heads, saying no. As his demon mark would appear on his face, and then he would say, "I'm Meliodas, the leader of the Ten Commandments, or as you know me as." No, fuck, I messed it up. I'm Meliodas, the leader of the Ten Commandments, or you know them as the 10 figures. Yes, I'm the child of prophecy, not meant by Mito, but you're not a son, basically, Kushina says. And then Naruto says, basically, I'm Naruto, basically, your quote unquote son, but I was basically a negative son or whatever. God dang it. And then Kushina says, no, you're not. And even if you are, Naruto doesn't have any demon chakra and powers and shit like that. As then Naruto smirks and says, you basically, he smirks and says, well, you didn't know, but my original life, my name was Meliodas, the son of the Demon King, the strongest demon, and the leader of the Ten Commandments, the elite demon force of the demon clan, basically. As they were all shocked, as then we hear a scream, and we see Grey Road split apart, and he's holding everyone from the land of waves, and Gato's people, basically, like, Gato's thugs and shit, and was basically turning them into red and gray demons and copper demons and shit like that. And what's it called again? Albions and all that shit. Basically demons. As then they basically, they become the gray demons and shit like that. And they told them to basically go back to the base and shit. So yeah. We skip to Esterosa and Gluxinia, who were basically looking at Deidara and Sasui, who were affected by Esterosa's commandment of love, for Sasui hating Deidara for talking about art and shit, and Deidara hating Esterosa for acting cool. And yeah, Gluxinia uses tentacle thing to, I guess, Boxki or whatever, to kill them. And basically then we see Team 7 go back to the Hidden Leaf, as then they explain what happened to Minato, as Minato would be pissed off and say, should we invite them to the village in the wood or world like that, by acting like with a friend and shit, or should we capture him and force him into the ambu and basically make him into a puppet and use him to rule the world? As he was thinking to himself, and then he came to a conclusion and says, I have made a choice. We will, but this is pretty much what I'm giving off. Hope you guys liked it, enjoyed. 35 like for the next one, and yeah, let me know what you guys thought of it. And sorry about my the background noise, but my dog will shut up. So yeah, anyways, for following you, I'm gonna be out for now. Peace.